My name is Joseph Anderson, and this is RM University's 90-Day Jumpstart program. Today is day 20, and we're going to talk about a budget. Now, when I was young, my parents encouraged me to have a personal budget. Any money that I got, 50% automatically went to my mission fund, 40% went to personal spending, and 10% went to tithing. Now, probably many of you fall in that same category. But since then, have you kept a budget? I know for myself, there's been times in my life that I've had one, and there's been times in my life that I haven't had one. Now, what a budget does, think about it on your mission. You were given an allowance every single, probably 2 weeks or so, depending on your mission. And after that money was gone, it was gone. Now, if you chose to spend wisely and, get nutritious foods and things of that nature, then you probably lived pretty decent, other than the dinners that you were provided. But if you didn't, it might have been tough. It might have been tough sledding at times. What is the value of a personal budget? Why in the world do I need to keep a personal budget? I know how much money I have in my account. Why does it matter? Well, as I was taught in an amazing personal finance course, which was done by Brian Sudweeks, and you can actually find that course online. He's a professor up at BYU. And he has a free version of his course online. You just have to search for BYU Personal Finance course on Google, and you'll be able to find that. Now, but why do we keep a budget? We keep a budget so that we know we're spending money on the things that we want to spend it on. A budget isn't about saying, hey, you know what, we've got to live on the bare minimum so that we have $1 billion saved in the bank. That's not what a budget's for. A budget is used to save for our personal goals. Now, let's say, for example, that you really enjoy sports. Now, you can put in your personal budget, money set aside for a gym membership, money set aside for different sporting activities that you're going to take in. If you live near a ski resort, you might want to, allot in your budget an amount for a season pass. It's totally up to you what your budget does. And a lot of people are like, oh my goodness, a budget's going to constrict me. A budget's going to hold me back from doing everything that I want to do because I'm going to look at there and say, oh, I don't have money to do that. No, a budget is liberating because you do get to see what you're spending money on, and it's also a balancing process. Oftentimes I use the example of a Rubik's Cube with people that, everything is always shifting. You're continuously shifting things, and life's about trying something, seeing if it worked, and then learning from that experience and then moving forward. That's all life is. So if you totally mess up on your budget one month, then just fix it the next month. Don't do anything crazy. It's okay. You'll figure it out. Now, a personal budget is very simple. Let's say, for example, that you know that you make $1,000 at your job while you're going to school. Then you just sit down and write, okay, I get $1,000. This much goes to taxes. And then the rest is left over for you. So you might say, okay, I got to spend this much on my housing. I need to spend this much on my food. And I've got this much left over to spend on other things. Whatever it is for you, it can be as general or as specific as you want. There's also some great software out there that can help you keep your budget as well. It can even track all your spending on your credit cards and things. But I want to ask you this question, and this is what I want you to actually answer on your form for the day. I want you to answer the question, what would my life look like if I kept a budget? How would keeping a budget provide me freedom? What would I be able to save for if I had a budget? Those are just a few things. And then I want you to actually create a budget. Even if it's just simple, basic, you can start off there. Like I say, small and simple things are great things brought to pass. Just start off with a simple budget, and then just go from there. So I want to really encourage you guys to take this budget in. And also, if you're way off track on your budget, then start today. I know many, especially in college, people start taking out all kinds of student loans, and I'll leave that for another day because it's a topic of it itself. But if you can get by with a little bit less, then do it. Because otherwise you're going to pay a lot more in the long run. If you're using credit cards to pay for all your expenses, guess what? As a general authority once said, interest never sleeps. Ever. and they don't just absolve those payments. You'll have to pay for those until you finish paying them off. And sometimes there's some, depending on how much you rack up on those credit cards, it can be pretty extreme. So I want to encourage you today, keep a personal budget, do your best you can to avoid credit cards, or better yet, to avoid getting mass quantities on your credit cards. Thanks so much for joining us for this episode of RM University, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.